Well, folks, I've survived my first Cat 6 hurricane. I'd say Cat 6 on purpose because on the scale they use for measuring hurricanes, usually, if I remember correctly, I can't check anything now because the external power is down. I'm using my own power. Um, Internet is down, and mobile is down. So AT&T is not working. Um, and internet is not working. So I don't know when this video is going to get out. In any case, I say Cat 6 on purpose because Irma, a war goddess, came through here with a vengeance. And I've been through some big storms before, both living here and heck on the in the Navy. But this bad boy truly tested my preparation, and I'm glad I did it. I guess Cat 6 is kind of an extreme way to test things, but I survived. The house survived. Most of my stuff survived. One of my cars is pretty much gone. I have two cars. I have one car I call the Clown. It's a Wego electric two-seater. I call it a Clown because after I get out, you expect another 40 circus clowns to follow me. That's how small it is. Then there's the Nissan Leaf. Love that car, but it's also fully electric. The storm took out the power lines. The power lines took out the rear glass, and Irma did the rest. There was some serious horizontal rains and wind all day yesterday. It was a thing to behold. I even recorded some of the wind noise. I parked one of my drones in front of the window, but the drone doesn't record sound. But I'll put all the video together soon. I don't know when. But I got up this morning and launched my Mavic drone because for some reason my Phantom 3 was having some issues. I launched the Mavic and cruised the neighborhood, and we got some damage. I also inherited two kittens. Yesterday I heard the crying. Opened the door, my back door, on the back porch there, and saw the mother, black cat, and three kittens. One was dead. She drugged the dead cat to my back porch. In any case, picked up the kittens, brought them in the house, picked up the mother. She had a little bit of resistance. Brought her into the house, and she promptly turned around and went back out the door. And the two kittens followed her. I figured they know more than I do about what's going on, and maybe they figured my place wasn't a safe place to be. Anyway, let them go, and then later on, I'd say about 4 or 5 hours later, when the storm really started kicking up, I could hear the crying again. So at first I was going to blow it off, but I went out there and, well, actually I didn't go out. I tried to go out. I unlocked the door, started to open it, and with all of my weight and force, could not open that door. I may have gotten the door open maybe an inch and a half, and Irma was like, no, I don't think so. So those cats stayed out there for another 6 hours or so, until there was a little bit of a lull. I was able to open the door. I found the black kitten, brought it inside, and then later on I heard some more crying. So I went outside. I could hear the crying. I couldn't see the cat. The gray kitten decided to shelter itself behind my air conditioner, and I had a hell of a time, getting that cat. But I got it. I brought it in. So I got both of those things. I gave him some food. See, I don't have any milk, and they seem to be that young where they might just need milk. But some chicken broth and some Vienna sausages chopped up and some water. I laid that out for them. I mean, they were totally soaked. So both of them last night spent the night wrapped up in towels, and now they're out, screwing around. Um, I'm gonna call the black one Irma. I'm gonna call the gray one Lefty, because Lefty seems to only have one eye for now. Uh, One of them is closed, and Irma, and both of them are female. I just checked them, so they're female. And I'm not a cat person, not a kitty person. Well, not that kind of cat anyway. Anyway, so I got those things to deal with. Went ahead and made a video of the car, both cars. The clown has a damaged rear view mirror, but that's it. There are power lines next to the car. I probably can move them, but probably not a good idea. The only other damage Irma did was my gas tank for cooking gas. It got separated last night in a big way. It didn't explode, but it got yanked off of its line, and Irma just had a hell of a time flinging that thing around. You could hear the gas hissing out. I saw it. Decided not to mess with it. Next door neighbor was calling out, "Hey!" I'm like, yeah, right. Anyway, this morning, after it petered itself out, I closed the valve and put it back in place. But so much for cooking. I went and with the drone, I checked my roof. The solar panel survived, but it looks like one panel is slightly out of alignment. So I'm going to assume that only one array of the two arrays that I have is going to produce power. It may produce, both of them may still produce power. I don't know. They are producing power right now, and they are charging back up my batteries that provided power pretty much, throughout this whole ordeal, except for about 4 hours, because, well, maybe 3 hours. I got a fault saying that the batteries were overheated, and after checking the batteries themselves and checking the electrical panel, turns out that the problem was at the electrical panel. The wind and the rain was blowing so hard that literally you probably could see no more than about 75 feet. That's how bad it got. I mean, rain was coming down hard. The road in front of my house turned into a river. The entire horse race track was flooded. It's not anymore. It's receded. But the water came through the windows, every seam, and it just came in. And some of it got into the electrical panel. So I went back to the system, turned off the DC power to the inverter, and went in there with a big old towel and sopped up as much as I could. Don't want to get electrocuted. I also disconnected from utility power, so WAPA is not powering this house. After I saw what the power lines were doing yesterday, I just disconnected. So part of my preparations was to have my solar system be fully off-grid capable, and it's doing that right now. I probably can run one or two of my air conditioners, but I'm not going to do that. Primary purpose of what power it's producing right now is to recharge the batteries, so I have power for tonight and every night. So as far as charging the cars are concerned, I took the clown out to see if I could find some milk for the cats, or the kitties, and I recorded the drive, and I gotta say the Purple Shop closed down. I went down to Lima's gas works, and they got some damage. So I figured they'd be open because they have solar panels and backup power too. But no. I tried to turn around and go over towards food center, but the roads are so bad. I mean, bad that I was like, maybe me and the clown should go back home, and that's exactly what I did. But I spent about 20 minutes in the clown because the air conditioning was heavenly. I gotta say, heavenly. I mean, in this little studio I have in the house, I probably can't turn the air conditioner on, but again, the batteries are the priority. I probably used about half their capacity last night. And let's see, the rain was blowing so hard. I mopped up about 4 buckets of water off the floor. Both mattresses in my room and my master bedroom and the guest bedroom are waterlogged. The roof normally doesn't have any leaks, but Irma found a way to get water in this bad boy. Walk around the house. If you look at video of the house, you'll see that the house looks like it's fine. No windows are broken up. Well, one window, the mechanism that winds and unwinds the window, it broke, and Irma was flapping the louvers like this. And at first I tried to cover it with something, but that wasn't happening. I mean, that's how hard the force was. We're talking about what Irma is supposed to be 185 knots sustained and 225 knots gusting or miles per hour. It was some serious stuff. In any case, I went and I got a belt because I didn't have anything else. When I got a leather belt, put it around one of the louvers, and almost broke a finger doing that because that's how hard the window was slamming back and forth. It's my middle finger. In any case, got that wrapped up, and then wrapped the leather around the kitchen faucet, and that held. But in the meantime, I had towels on the ground, I had bed sheets on the ground soaking up the water, and once Irma stopped deluging us and shifted to just wind, that's what the second half was all about. The first half was just all water. It was just insane water. I mean, water was coming. If there was a crack in my house, the door edges, the window seams, it came in. It came in. And so I sopped up about 4 buckets of water. I had one regular mop that was worthless and one mop that I thought was worthless, but it's like a shampoo. It just sucked up all the water, and it took me a couple of hours, but I got all the water sopped up, and made a place for the cats on top of the kitchen table. Lefty has already fallen off 3 times, hasn't learned her lesson. Irma fell off twice. I guess she hasn't learned her lesson either. But on the kitchen table, they're gonna stay for now because I got a pile of just damp, wet stuff that I got to deal with. So I'm trying to decide whether to just throw them away, or when the sun finally does come out, because even though it's daylight, the sun is not all the way out. It's still, mostly cloudy. It's overcast. So, and just looking at my my power readings, I'm not making enough power to run my washer dryer. I have a washer dryer. It's all one unit. It's all electric. It's all 110 power, but that bad boy draws some serious amps. Can't cook, not on the stove anyway. So whenever I use the nuke, the microwave, gonna have to use that during the day and sparingly at night, because that puppy draws 1,000 amps, about 1,000 to 1,100 amps. I mean, not amps, but watts. Watts, 1,000 to 1,100 watts when it's on. So for heating up stuff for about 3 minutes, that's fine. But for defrosting and cooking, no, that has to happen during the day. And after the batteries are charged. A lot of people out there walking around. Our governor issued this ridiculous order about confiscating firearms, ammunition, and incendiaries. I guess he's coming for my matches too. I don't think I'm going to comply. That's insane. You know, you're going to come in my house, Fourth Amendment, break in here and take my stuff, or Second Amendment, leave me in a position where I can't defend myself from possible looters. I've already seen some guy walking down the street with a machete. So I guess I'm going to have to defend myself with my machete since they want to take my weapons. Again, not going to happen. So they're going to have to take me and put me in jail. I would figure that they have other priorities to deal with right about now. Spoke to an attorney friend of mine in California, and he recommended contacting the NRA. So I did that. I did that through the NRA Facebook page while I still had some connectivity. I have none now. Again, I don't know when this video is going to get out. No utility power, no internet, and no cellular. That's all gone. So I'm just doing this little narration just to occupy some time. This storm was, I've been through when I was younger, David and Frederick. Those are the biggest ones I remember because as a youth, we used to think hurricanes were fun. We used to run outside with a bar of soap and wash ourselves down, and when the water overflowed the cistern, stand up on the. We thought it was blackout. That was fun. But David and Frederick came through. I was in Civil Air Patrol, and they gave me one of those three-quarter? Is it three-quarter? No, a deuce-and-a-half truck to go cruise around with, and that was major. And then ever since then I was in the Navy, and so cruised through a couple of storms on aircraft carriers. That wasn't fun either. And this house was weakened. The original structure was weakened by Hugo. I went and I got a loan to rebuild the house, and my brother rebuilt it essentially by himself. And right after, about 6-7 months after he finished it, it's all wood. We had a hard time insuring it, but we got it insured. Here comes Maryland. Maryland came through and absolutely schwacked the entire island. And this house survived that with hardly a scratch. So kudos to my brother for building a house at last. It just withstood a Cat 6 storm. Irma, the war goddess. I say war goddess because in old German, Irma means war goddess, or Ermin, same thing. Anyway, I consider myself to be very, very lucky. Truly lucky. There's debris all over the place. The car can be replaced. At least I have one. I can't use my 220 volt charger to charge the cars up because that's connected to utility power. But I do have the electrical cords for 110 charging, and that's connected to my solar, so I'll be able to charge up the cars. It'll take a little while. Well, the clown, take a little while, but that's, at least I have that, because it looks like I have cash, I have savings, I have credit cards, I have debit cards, but the ones and the zeros are not working. So write the credit cards off, even PayPal, because with no internet you can't even use it. The cash is pretty worthless because I can't go anywhere. The stores are all closed, so you can have as much cash as you want. Can't spend it until they open up. And will they have what you need? when they open up. So right now, but got enough food in the house. Got plenty of water in the house. I got a filter in the house. Since I have power, I can use the filtered water from the cistern, which is full, by the way. So I got over 5,000 gallons of water below me. I took a shower this morning. That felt outstanding. It's something I suspect a lot of people can't do right about now unless they have a bucket to go out there and wash themselves with. Again, lucky. I'm glad I prepared and spent the money on the system. Anyway, that's all I got right now. It's still kind of drying out. I still got to figure out a way to get some milk for the cats, because they're going to have to eventually eat what's there, the chicken broth and the water and the chopped up Vienna sausages. That's it for now.